Hey guys, it's Eric, aka Chatadev, and welcome to the channel. Um, I don't know exactly what this channel is going to be at this point. I'll talk about that here in just a couple of minutes. But I wanted to talk about my journey as a self-taught developer up to and including my first professional development job, which will start on November the 1st. And I hope to carry everybody along with me through that process in the first day and what that looks like, and et cetera, et cetera. So a little bit about me. I have an analytical background. I did data analytics for a couple of websites, as well as I also did compensation analytics for 5 years for an insurance company. And I had zero interest at that time of web development. For one of the internet companies that I was working for, we were doing data analytics for daily fantasy sports. And at one point, I was asked if I could turn the data from spreadsheets onto the web, and I took on that challenge. And so, what ended up happening from that point was I started getting into to HTML and CSS, and fell in love with the web development aspect of it and wanted to learn more. I then turned that into learning a little bit of JavaScript, and then in my local town here, I was given the opportunity or a scholarship to join a boot camp that was funded by the city and through Savvy Coders based out of St. Louis to take this. I think it was an 8 or 9 week JavaScript course that was focused solely on JavaScript itself. And that had some good and some bad points. And you hear a lot about boot camps and having a CS degree, etc. I will say up front, I do not have a CS degree. Everything that I have done and learned has been on my own personal time, and just out of the love for development. So I took this JavaScript course, and it was okay, but it also led me. The biggest thing that I took away from it was it taught me how to learn, and what I mean by that is it gave me the fundamentals of going out and picking what I wanted to learn, how to learn it, how to get involved, and whatnot. And so that was my biggest takeaway. After I graduated from there, I think that was in May of 2018, June, probably June. It was in June of 2018. And at that point, I had been fully coding in all of my free time for maybe 6 months. And so I took the knowledge that I had. I took some Udemy courses. I read some books, and then I started deciding that I was going to apply for jobs. I'm not going to name this particular company, but I applied at a Fortune 500 company and was immediately hired. And unfortunately, that particular job itself didn't work out, just based on some of the parameters. I didn't feel comfortable with it. I wasn't able to do what they wanted, etc. So I didn't take that job. And then since then I've done 3 other interviews, and I finally just accepted my first job as a professional developer. It starts on November the 1st, so I'm gonna have to wait until that comes out for anybody to find out where it's at, and what I'm going to be doing. But my job title is going to be a mix of a junior web developer, a web developer, DevOps. I'm kind of going to be involved in a lot of programming, and problem solving for a company, and that's going to be really exciting. So, what led me down to my first job, as explained in my story, was I just fell in love with it. You hear everybody talk about, well, you've got to master HTML and you've got to master CSS and you've got to master JavaScript before you can get a job. A lot of that is true, but a lot of that is not true. I would not consider myself a master of CSS, and I would not consider myself a master of JavaScript. I, on most days, don't even consider myself a developer or a programmer, but I do consider myself every day as a problem solver, which is the backbone for my development history. In saying that, I don't want to let it come off as that I don't know CSS and I don't know JavaScript. I do. And as a matter of fact, one of the jobs that I just interviewed for, I had to do the whiteboard test. And I wouldn't say that I failed miserably. I didn't make it any further in the process past that, but I did feel pretty confident after that because I at least knew what they were looking for, and I knew how to solve the problem. I just didn't have the particular skill set to get the problem solved in the timely manner that they wanted, and that's totally understandable. So moving on from there, one big suggestion that I can have as you're learning and as you're trying to go through any of these languages, whether you're going to be doing it in JavaScript, in React, in Angular, in WordPress, down to PHP, no matter what your stack's going to be, pick a language, stick with it, go through as far as knowing all of the basics very well, and then turn around and start getting some of the advanced features, but then don't be afraid to reach out and start doing other stuff. When you start looking at jobs and whatnot, and you're seeing maybe in your particular area, you're seeing React everywhere, or you're seeing Angular, or you're seeing Vue, or you're seeing PHP and WordPress, don't be afraid to get out and start learning some of that stuff. And if you ever have any questions about some of the resources and whatnot, I will be glad to share any of that with you. So past that, the goals for this channel, I think first and foremost is just going to be for personal development for myself, just to kind of keep a video log of everything that I'm doing and where I'm coming from as far as a brand new developer that's self-taught, walking into my first job in about 2 weeks, and what that's going to be like, and what that journey's like. And I don't know that a lot of people will give you that perspective. A lot of what I see is, oh, you got to go to Team Treehouse and you got to take their nano degree, or you got to go to Udacity and you got to take that degree, or you've got to take all of these Udemy courses and you've got to do this and that. That's not the route that I took. And if that's the route that you took, I think that's fantastic. I just didn't have the time to learn that. Or I didn't have the time to put into that. So I kind of had to do it on the scheduling of the other jobs that I was working and whatnot. So again, kind of just a personal vlog for me and my progress. I think that I want to, on top of going through and doing maybe some video series on what it's actually like to be a developer, and then getting from working wherever you're working today into a development role, into maybe some tutorials, maybe question and answer sessions. It could be whatever. Definitely feel free to leave some comments on maybe what you would like to see or whatnot, and then we can work from that. My initial goal right now is to upload a video at least once a week, if not more. But I'm gonna set the goal right now for once a week and see how that comes out. And then on my personal website, which is ekeiser.com, and that's ekeiser.com, I am going to start a blog section about some of the stuff that I'm personally working on. Like right now, I'm diving into React pretty heavily, so maybe I can give some code snippets or thoughts and ideas, maybe come out with a tutorial or whatever. But that's just kind of what the goal is right now. So if this is something that interests you, I would definitely want you to hit the subscribe and notifications so that we can all kind of walk along this journey together. Of course, smash the like button, give it a thumbs up, leave some comments, and then we will grow the channel. All right, guys, till next time.